See, if you all send me the test paper, students, I can see where you all have gone wrong. I can tell you all. You're not even bothered about test papers. You're not doing the test. Hmm? How will you get to know what you all have understood? 1 or 2 weeks we study. Only if you give the test, you'll be able to understand, right? Okay, midpoint theorem. A simple concept, midpoint theorem. Okay, it's a very simple concept, but it depends on how we apply this concept on the questions. Fine. Let me take a triangle ABC. In triangle ABC, students, what do you mean by the word midpoint? What is midpoint? If I take AB, it's the middle, yes, middle point of a line, right? Middle point. Ananya online? Yeah, join early, Ananya. Why do you join late? Okay, all of you will try to log in on time, students. 7:30, maximum 5 minutes. 7:35, we have to start. Fine. Midpoint theorem, new chapter. For line, take a triangle, rectangle, anything. The meaning of midpoint is when you take a line, students, this point M, I'll name it as O. O is the midpoint of AB. What do you mean by that? It is exactly in the middle, right? So what will be the length of OB? If AO is 5 centimeter, the length of OB also will be 5 centimeter. So ratio, if you want to take the ratio, you divide 5 divided by 5. What's the ratio between them? 1 is to? Yes, 1 is to. So in midpoint theorem, the ratio will always be equal to 1 is to 1. Important concept, even next year you'll have this related to this. So 1 is to 1. What I'll do is, I'll keep a point on AB. I'll name it as D. And for BC, I'll keep a midpoint. I'll name it as E. And for AC, I'll keep a midpoint. I'll name it as F. All the values are same, students. If AB is 10 centimeters, what is the value of BD? If entire value of AB is 10 centimeter, what is BD? Look at the first diagram. 10 divided by 2, 5 centimeters, right? If BC is 12, what is the distance between BE and EC? 6 each. If AC is 8 centimeter, yes, 4 centimeter. So 4 and 4. Okay. So midpoint theorem says that from AB, students, from AB, if I draw a midpoint line DF, look at line DF. This midpoint line will be parallel to the third side. So which two sides did we take to draw the midpoint line? Which two sides did we use? We used AC. We used AB and AC. Okay. Which line did we didn't use? Which line we didn't use? BC. Okay. Therefore, what will be the ratio, students? The ratio of DF is to BC is 1 by 2. Fine. Other ratio will be 1. See, other values ratio will be 1, but this one will be 1 by 2. What do you mean by that? 1 by 2. If DF is 5 centimeter, for example, DF is 5, what is 2 times of DF? 5 centimeter, it will be. So if you reduce them, what's the ratio we get? 1 is to? Yes. So basically, the third side, BC will be double the value. Okay, BC will be double the value. Let me take DF as 6 centimeter. What will be BC? 12, right? 12 centimeters. So the statement here, which is greater, students, DF or BC? BC. Fine. Which is the midpoint line here? Which is the midpoint line? DF is the midpoint. Right? So according to DF, you have to write the statement. DF is equals to, is DF half of BC or double the BC? DF will be half of BC. See, when I substitute, imagine BC is not given. BC is not given. So what will be DF? How will you find BC value, students? Use this formula. What is DF value? DF is 6 is equals to 1 by 2 into BC. If you want to find BC, what happens to 2? What's the answer? 12. Yes. So draw the diagram, draw all this, and look at the values for A to D, and look at A to D divided by D to B. What's the value for A to D? 5 divided by, what's the value from D to B? What is the ratio? Okay. On the same line AB, 1 is to 1. Now tell me BE is to EC, students. 1 is to 1. What about AF is to FC? Yes. For all the other lines, it will be 1 is to 1 except the midpoint. Okay. So you don't have to write all this. Don't write all this. Don't need to write all these values. Okay. Just write this, student. This is most important. So draw this line. AD is equals to DF. BE is equals to EC. FC is equals to AF. Values are equal. Therefore, this is the first statement. DF is half of BC. Okay, we have two statements. The first statement says DF is parallel. Fine. So when you take the midpoint, DF is parallel to BC. What do you mean by parallel to BC? How much ever you extend DF and BC, will they coincide? Yes. So, yeah, we call it coincide. Coinciding. Okay, they don't coincide, or they don't meet at a common point. That's it. This is the first theorem. These are the two things you have to remember. DF is parallel to BC and DF is half of BC. Let me see what are the concepts allowed. Okay, just remember these two things, students. Clear? Understood all of you all? Okay. So DF is parallel to BC. Okay. Next. Now, which two lines did we draw the midpoint, student? Which two lines did we connect? AB and AB and which one? AB and AC. Now, what I'll do, I'll connect D and E, this midpoint. Now, with respect to D and E, DE will be parallel to which one? Which is the line which we didn't connect? AC. Very good. Third side. And what's the formula? DE is equal to, yes. Yes. So this is first midpoint line, second midpoint line. Which is the third midpoint line we have? EF. Yes. So EF will be parallel to. Let me connect. Very good. Let me connect all three together. EF will be parallel to AB. Therefore, EF. Just write the formula. EF is equals to half of AB. Okay. Yes, half of AB. This is one thing you'll have to remember. This is all about midpoint theorem. And even the opposite of this you'll have to remember. Even the opposite. First complete this, students. Complete it. Write it. And you have intercept. Okay, the chapter's name is not midpoint. It is midpoint theorem and intercept theorem. So we have another formula, that is intercept. What is the chapter's name in your textbook? I have old textbook. What's the chapter's name? Okay, same, intercept. So we have another formula for intercept. That we'll do tomorrow. First we'll complete all this midpoint theorem. So you take any midpoint line, students, you'll have two formulas, parallel line formula and half of double that formula. You'll have two types. Okay, you all try writing it. We have three midpoints. And in parallel line, do you all remember interior alternate? Do you all remember interior? Yes. You have to apply all that concept here. That's why I told you all DF is parallel to BC. So we have to apply parallel line, corresponding parallel line, and whenever diagram alphabet X is given, when alphabet X is given, what kind of angles we get? Vertically opposite angles, and the values will be same, 50 degree, 50, like this, straight line concept. Okay, complete this. We'll start solving the questions. All of you are done? Did you all understand midpoint theorem formulas? Okay, next, perimeter, students. What do you mean by perimeter? Outer boundary. So 5, 6, 7. What's the answer? Perimeter. Basically, what do? You add AB plus BC plus AC. 5 plus 6 plus 7. This is one concept you'll have to understand. 5 plus 6 plus 7. What's the answer? 13, 5, 18. Yes, 18. This is one concept you'll have to remember. Then what are the other concepts? Midpoint, triangle. Okay, not only triangle. You take even rectangle, square. For everything you can use midpoint concept. Okay, now I'll give you all a question. If EF is 6 centimeter, what is the value of AB? EF is parallel to which one? EF is parallel to? See, parallel. Parallel meaning is just a line below that. Which line is below EF? AB. So what's the formula? EF should be half of AB. If EF is 6 centimeter, AB will be just double that. 12. This will be 12 centimeter. Okay. If DF is 5 centimeter, what is BC? If DF is 5, what is BC, students? BC will be 10. Yeah, you'll have questions like this. Next, if DE is 7 centimeter, AC will be 14 centimeters. Right? Concentrate. Ninth is going to be very tough. Not like 8th. You'll have lot of topics which are related to 10th. Okay, so don't miss any class or don't get distracted, students. Okay, next question. Let me write DEF. This is one type of question you have to remember. It's a direct question. If DE is 6 centimeter, EF is 6 centimeter, DF is 6. What kind of triangle is DEF? What are the three types of triangle we have? Scalene, isosceles, equilateral. Very good. What kind of triangle? Equilateral. Okay. If EF is 6 centimeters, what about AB? 12. What about BC? 12. What about AC? 12. Okay. Look at DEF. if DEF, if all three sides are equal, what about their angles? See, what about ABC? Yes. So this is a special triangle, students, in midpoint theorem. If you come across equilateral, equilateral. Okay. If you come across equilateral triangle, if DEF is equilateral, what about ABC? ABC also will be equilateral triangle. Both will be equal. Okay. Both are equal. And isosceles scale it is different. Equilateral is a special type of triangle. So if DF is a equilateral, ABC also would be equilateral. And what about their angles? Angles also will be same, 60 degrees and 60 degrees. Angle also will be same. So that's it. These are the topics. We'll start solving the first question. Look at the first one. Yeah, tell me the first one. What is the statement, the question given, students? In triangle ABC, what are the midpoints? DEF are midpoint, right? So AB, take the first question. If AB is equals to 6.2, 6.2. If AB is 6.2, which is the midpoint for AB? Which is the midpoint DE? Right? So what's the formula, students? What's the formula? Which is the midpoint line for AB? For AB, the midpoint line is DE. See, don't write anything. Let me explain. Later you all can do. And what's the theorem you have to write? DE will be half of what? AB. Is AB value given? And we need to find the value of DE half of AB. 6.2 is given. How do you convert this into decimal, into fraction? 62 divided by 10. Okay, now reduce this. 2 ones are, how many times 2 goes in 62? 31 divided by 10, 3 point. Yeah, you can do like this, or you can directly write half into 6.2. If you know to calculate, you can do it directly. Is it clear? Did you understand? Yeah, try the next question. DF. DF is given. Find the value of AC. Yes. Okay, fine, Anya. See, concept is done. Go through the recording. Okay, so we don't have time. I won't be able to explain. Go through the recording. I'll send later and attend tomorrow. No, you can leave. Okay, we hardly have 10 days left, students, for your test. You have to complete this by this week and start with revision. Complete it. Write the theorem DE. Next, DF. Those things. Third question I'll teach. Abigail, did you understand? Delicia, Abigail, Tia, Tia, Bhargavi, Ananya, all of you understand? Okay. For second question, students, tell me for second question, which line are they talking about? Second one, which midpoint line? No, no, I need the midpoint line. Yes, not the triangle one. The inner triangle. DF, they asked about DF. So what is DF? Formula for DF would be half into AC. If you want to find AC, what happens to this two? It's multiplied. Yeah. So DF is 3.8. How much is 3.8 into 2? If you're getting confused, you can write 38 divided by 10 into 2. This 2 into 38, you get 76 divided by 10 is 7.6. So AC is equals to 7.6. Completed. Second one. All of you all got the value of AC. Okay. AC is 7.6. Okay. What's the third part of the question asked? What is third part? If perimeter of. Okay. What is perimeter of which one? Perimeter of which triangle they have told? ABC or DEF? ABC. So what is perimeter of ABC, students? What did I tell you all? Which three things you have to add? AB plus AC. Okay, right, like this. If perimeter, third question, they have given perimeter value. What is perimeter value given? 21. In place of perimeter, write 21. What is AB we found? What is AB given in the question? 6.2. And BC is what we have to find, right? That is what they have told us. Find BC. Find FE. Find FE. So what is AC given? What did we find AC? 7 point. BC. If you find BC, students, what is the midpoint for BC? For side BC, what will be the midpoint line? EF, right? So we need to find the value of BC and apply EF, right? Find the value of BC, students. How will you get BC? 21. What is 6.2 plus 7.6? Add these two. 13.8. Subtract this 13.8. 21 minus 13.8. Right, like this. 21.0 minus 13.8. Yeah, borrow from this. If you borrow from 20, it becomes 21, it becomes 20. 10 minus 8 is 2. 7.2 is the answer. What's the answer? All of you got 7.2. How come 8? Bhargavi, explain. Tell me, Kia. Okay. You have to borrow. Check the values properly here. There's no power. You have written wrong values or same value. You have to borrow, students. Without borrowing, how can you subtract? So when you borrow, it becomes 20. All of you got 7.2? Right. Okay. Once you find BC, what are we supposed to find here? After applying perimeter, you have to find FE, right? So the formula for FE will be half of, look at line FE. Yes, tell me students, FE is which one? Midpoint for which one? Midpoint line for BC? That's it. This is the concept. See, why did we use perimeter? Why did we use perimeter formula here? Just because they have given the value here, right? Yeah. So it's a statement given. In maths, usually they won't give it like English literature. They won't give it in statements. They won't give like lengthy answers. They'll give like this small statement. If perimeter of ABC is 21. So make use of perimeter formula. You'll get BC. Apply midpoint formula, you'll get FE. Okay, find this. Go through this question. Take 5 minutes break. We'll continue at 8:15. Okay, all of you will find FE students. Once you find FE, go through this question. Go through the solution once again, whatever we solved. Yes, students, shall we try the next one? All of you online? Yes, all of you online. What's the value of FE students? What did you get? Half of 7.2. 3.6. Okay, 0.6. Delicia got the answer. Dia, Delicia, Kia. Okay, next question. See, first question, you might get question like this for test. Second question. What do you mean by right angle, students? What is right angle? Right angle. Any one angle is 90. Here, which angle is 90 degree? Angle M is 90. Yes, M is 90 degrees. L, M, N. We have PQ. And what they've given? What about P and Q? Are they midpoints of which one? They are the midpoints of M and N. If PQ is the midpoint, what is the formula, students? PQ is equals to half of. Okay, if this is right angle triangle, which one is hypotenuse? Which side is hypotenuse? Ln is the hypotenuse. What is Pythagoras theorem? How do you apply Pythagoras theorem here? Hypotenuse ln square is equals to mn square plus. How do you apply Pythagoras theorem? Mn square plus, what's the third side we have? Lm square. Right? So when it comes to right angle, what are the things you'll have to remember, students? Right angle, you have to remember hypotenuse and Pythagoras theorem. Okay, let's start solving this question. What are the values given in the question? If Lm is equals to, what's the value of Lm? 9. What is the value of Mn? What is Mn? 12. And what is Ln? 50. Okay, all three values they have given. We don't need to find anything. All three they have given. Find the perimeter of trapezium Mn QP. Okay, you have to find the trapezium. First question. Fine. You have to find the trapezium of which one? Trapezium of, yeah, perimeter. Trapezium of which one, students? Mn Okay, now look here. In quadrilateral, yeah, this is most important. Just remember this. Next, after this chapter, I'll teach you all this concept. Quadrilateral. In quadrilateral, all of you concentrate. This is important. We have five different types of quadrilaterals. So, what are those five different types? What is quadrilateral? Basically, how many sides it has? Four sides. One is rectangle. A rectangle will be straight and opposite sides will be equal. Understood? What is rectangle? The diagram will be straight and opposite sides will be equal. Next we have square. What is square? All four sides are equal. Next we have parallelogram. Parallelogram. So parallelogram is nothing but it is similar to square. Opposite sides are equal, but the diagram is not straight. It is slanting. Can you see? The four-sided figure similar to rectangle. All four sides, opposite sides are equal but slanting. Same goes with rhombus. Rhombus is similar to square. All four sides are equal. But is it straight or slanting? It is slanting. So these four are one group. The other group we call it as trapezium. Trapezium is nothing but it will have four sides. None of the sides will be equal, students. See, one will be like this, like this. One more will be tall, like this. One will be slanting. Do you think opposite sides are equal? Is the opposite side equal? No. Can you see trapezium is totally different from other four quadrilaterals? Yeah. So this is the name of trapezium. In detail, I'll explain after first unit test. For midterm, you might have this chapter. In detail, I'll explain later. For now, remember rectangle. Trapezium is a type of quadrilateral, four-sided figure, but none of the sides are parallel or equal. Okay, so look at trapezium MNOP. What they are given? MNQP. So let me take out this separately. MNQP. Okay. M, N, Q, and P. What do you mean by perimeter, students? What is perimeter of this trapezium? It's the total outer boundary. How do you add? No. PQ plus QN plus NM plus. Just add all four sides. NM plus what? PM, right? In this trapezium. Fine. If Mn, what are the values given here? Only Mn value is given. What is Mn value? 12. Remaining we have to find. Okay, according to midpoint theorem, what did I tell you all, students? If what's the total value of Lm? Total value of Lm given 9. If total value of Lm is 9, what will be the value of Pm? Half of it. Look at Pm. No, not 3, not 3. Half of 9. How much is half of 9? This, I'm talking about this side. Can you see the line Lm, students? Lm is 9 centimeters they have given. So the distance between PL and PM should be equal. That's the concept of midpoint. Yeah, so you have to write like this. If Lm is equals to 9, then what will be the value of PM? It should be 4. Yes, so 4.5. Where is PM? 4.5. Now you all tell me the value of Qn. What is the total value of Ln? 15. So what will be both the value L to Q and Q to N should be half and half? Yes, in the beginning I explained all this. Those who are concentrated will answer. If Ln is equals to 15, then Qn is equals to 15 divided by 2. How much is 15 divided by 2? 0.5. We need PQ. How will you all find PQ, students? Which formula will you all use? What is PQ is equals to? Is PQ is a side of a triangle or is it a midpoint? This midpoint formula. Very good. 1 by 2 into. So what is PQ? Half of 12 is. Diya, did you understand? Delicia, Diya. What about Delicia? See, if you have any doubts, let me know, students. I'll teach you all. Get your doubts clarified immediately. If you'll postpone tomorrow, day after tomorrow, then we won't have time. By then we would have done 3 or 4 questions. Okay, find the perimeter, calculate all this, go through the question. I'll give you 2 minutes time. You should write all this statement. Whatever I've written, if you write all this, you'll get marks. This one, this diagram, and perimeter. Right? Perimeter of trapezium. Perimeter of trapezium MNQP. Till 8:40 kiya. Yeah, be quick students. We have to try at least 4. Solve at least 3 to 4 questions. Okay, what's the perimeter answer? 6 plus 7.5, 12 plus 4.5. Is it 30? So PQ is equals to half into 12, that is 6. Substitute PQ. Perimeter of trapezium. Write the entire statement. Perimeter of trapezium MNQP. So 7.5 plus 4.5, 12. 12 plus 12, 24 plus 6, 30. What is the units given here? Everything is in centimeter. LM, MN, LN. So even this will be centimeter. It's very simple. First, they have asked us to find perimeter, right? Perimeter formula. In perimeter, what are the things required? PQ, QN, MN, PM. You should know how to calculate PQ, QN. All that I explained in the beginning. Okay. If any midpoint is given, a line will be divided into 2 half. So PQ will be 9 divided by 2, 4.5. Okay, how did teachers do? Abigail and other students, whoever attended, is it the same way? Yes. Do you all have notes? Did ma'am do this question? Reason? What reason? Okay, why you didn't tell Abigail? You have tried the reason? Okay, if AB is 6.2, you have to find DE. What reason will you write? What are the 2 possible reasons I told you all? One is DE will be parallel to, yeah, tell me Abigail. First question, DE will be parallel to which one? DE is parallel, not BF, AB. First question, AB. That is one thing you have to write. And what's the formula you have to write? DE is half of AB. Okay, statement is not required. If you just write formulas and substitute. See, for this things are statement is required. Can you see I've written if ln is 15, qn is equals to 7.5. And what reason will you all write, students? Why qn is 7.5? Because midpoint P divides which line? P divides which line? And not P, not P. Q divides which line? Q divides ln into 2 arcs, right? Divides ln into 2 arcs. You can write it like that, or you can just mention LQ is equals to QN. Fine. Mention like this. For LM, what will you all mention, students? For LM and PM, what will you mention? LP is equals to PM. That's half of it. It is understood. Midpoint meaning is half. Fine. That's it. You do this question. Next, what there was? Perimeter is done. And what you have to find? Area of trapezium. Okay. Let me erase this. Let me erase. Yes. Okay, P and Q is midpoint for which one? PQ is midpoint for which line? PQ. Yes, PQ is the midpoint for MN. Write this statement. Then what's the formula you have to write? PQ is equals to half of MN. That's it. So mention this, students. Mention this line. PQ is midpoint for MN. PQ is the midpoint line, right line. So this is the reason. PQ is the midpoint line for MN. Therefore, PQ is equals to half of MN. Okay, we found perimeter of trapezium. Now let's find perimeter of area of trapezium. See, whether you take triangle, rectangle, square, quadrilateral, circle, anything. In triangle, what are the things we used to calculate, students? What are the things we studied to calculate angle and sides? These are the two things. Angles we completed using isosceles. You all are thorough with all the angles. How to find angles? Using interior exterior concept, right? So sides. There are few concepts for sides, Heron's formula and other things. We'll be studying in next chapter. Apart from this, angle and sides, there are two more things we have to study. Any triangle, any geometrical figures. The other two are, one is perimeter. I explain what is perimeter. Next is area. You take a triangle, trapezium, circle, quadrilateral, anything. These are the four things we study, and even diagonal. So diagonal, all this we'll study later. I'll explain later. For now, perimeter. We know what is perimeter, right? Sum of outer boundary. Just add everything. Perimeter is done. We found perimeter. Area, students. For each and every diagram, area will differ. Area formula will differ. Area. Okay. For trapezium, I'll tell you. Later I'll explain. Mostly after first test. Now just remember the formula. What is formula for area of trapezium? So area of trapezium is nothing but half into which two sides you all think is parallel here? Which two sides are parallel? PQMN or PMQN? Which two sides are parallel, students? Can you see PQ and MN are parallel? What does that mean? Even if you extend, the lines will not join, right? Right? Yeah. What about MN, students? What about MN? I mean PM and QN? If I extend the line, are they meeting at a point? Right? So they meet at a point. Therefore, remember trapezium area of trapezium is very simple. Half into sum of parallel sides. What do you mean by sum of parallel sides? PQ plus Which is the other parallel? Mn? Yes. Half into sum of parallel sides into height. Into height. What do you mean by height? How do you measure height, students? If you stand straight or slanting? Straight. Which line is straight here? PM is straight or QN? PM. That's it. This is the form. Yes. So this is the formula. What's the formula for area of trapezium? Look at the diagram and tell me. Half into sum of parallel sides. Yeah. Not PQ. Sum of parallel sides into P. Yeah. What is height value here? Yes. PM is the height. So what's the answer you get? Half into. What is PQ we found? What is PQ, students? If MN is 12, PQ is? Then what? MN 12 into height. What is PM? If LM is 9, what is PM? 4 point. So half into 6 plus 12 is 18 into 4.5. 2 ones are 2 nines are 18. 9 into 4.5. Calculate this. This will give you the answer. Area of trapezium. See, first time I'll explain slowly everything in detail. While revision, I won't be explaining all this in detail. I'll just write the formula. You'll have to answer. When I'm teaching, don't write or calculate, students. Only for the first time I'll teach like this. From second time onwards, I'll be asking questions. You'll have to answer, and we have to be quick. No, not 40.5. See, 9 into 4.5. If you don't know, if you feel tough, write 45 divided by 10. Calculate 9 into 45. How much is 9 into 45? 405. 9 5s are 45. 9 4s are 36. 36 plus 5. 36 plus 4, 4. How much is 405 divided by 10? If you use shifting method, 40 point. Area is equals to 40.5. Okay, I think enough. 2 questions enough for today. Remaining. Abigail or others, can you tell me the questions, student? Third, fourth, fifth. You'll have third, fourth, fifth, right? Then what else? Okay. Then from seventh, you'll have everything. Okay, next. No, 1 minute. Seventh is cancelled. You have 8, 9. 8, 9, 10, 11. 13. No, 13, 14 is cancelled. 15 and 17. So we have 16. Right? Okay, sorry. 15. Right? 8, 9, 10, 11, 15. Are these the sums left to complete 8, 9, 10, 15? And here we have 3, 4, 5. Is it correct, Abigail? Can you just check once? Yeah, tell me 13, 11, 13, 15. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 8. Tomorrow we'll try to complete 3, 4, 5, 8. Okay, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, another 2 days, students. 2 days we'll try to complete this. Today, did you understand the entire concept? Midpoint. Yes, Bhargavi, tell me. These are the questions you'll have. These are the questions we have. Other questions are cancelled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 15. Take a screenshot or mark these questions. Yeah, other questions are cancelled, students. Okay, no homework today. Just go through this entire thing, whatever I've taught so far. Practice the first 2 questions. Fine, practice first 2. Another 2 days we'll complete it. Yeah, Wednesday, Thursday we'll complete. From Friday we'll start revision. What about other exercise? There's only one here. Okay, only one exercise. Fine, students. That's it for today. You all can leave.